Hey everybody, it's Nicole with Pampered Chef. So I thought I'd come live with you and actually show you how to make the most amazing ranch dressing that doesn't come out of a bottle that you're already buying, okay? This is a dairy-free, soybean, all those extra ingredients. This is totally probably, to be honest with you, I bet every single person here probably has all the ingredients, maybe a couple that you don't have. And even if you don't have them fresh, at least you can have them dry, I should say. Okay, so the recipe calls for fresh dill. I do have fresh dill, so if y'all don't know what fresh dill looks like, okay. And I do not have fresh parsley, so I'm actually using parsley flakes, okay. But normally you can do like an Italian parsley. You could do a regular. I think Italian has more flavor, so for me, anytime that I buy parsley, I always buy Italian, okay. Just because of that flavor when it comes to that, okay. So I made this the last couple of years that me and Brad did Whole30. And we're kind of doing a mixture of both. I'm doing a little bit of Whole30 and EM2. If y'all have ever heard of that, it's an online training in addition to eating clean and all that good stuff. So kind of doing a little bit of both, if that makes sense. Doing a little bit of Whole30, doing a little bit of both very similar, okay, when it comes to that. So I am making a Whole30 ranch dressing is what it's called. It's from 40 Aprons, so I'll make sure in the comments that you are, that you can actually go right to her website and actually get their dressing, because it is so good, okay? I will tell you that when you make this, you got to remember, y'all, there's no preservatives to keep this 6-7 months, okay? The expiration date is max 10 days. It's 7 to 10 days, okay? It's going to be your expiration. So I'm going to go over the products that are in here. I am going to use an immersion blender to actually make this, because there is a difference between an immersion blender and a regular blender, okay? So first and foremost, probably the biggest and the most that you need is you need to have oil, okay? And they want you to use a very light tasting olive oil, so you don't want to do the dark, the extra virgin, any of that, because that's a darker oil. You want to go with the lighter, okay? Or I actually use an avocado oil, okay? So you can actually do either of those. But it is a cup and a half, so as y'all can see, that is a lot of oil, okay? But that's the majority of your salad dressing, okay? So we are going to do that. I told you about the parsley, fresh dill. We have garlic. We have fresh lemon juice. Let me get my citrus pepper and my citrus thing out. I just forgot about that. And then salt, pepper, garlic. It calls for paprika. I'm using the smoked paprika, y'all. So much more flavor. So much more flavor, okay? Ground mustard, garlic powder, onion powder, and apple cider vinegar, and a little bit of almond milk. Now, when it comes to almond milk, it's funny because I prefer this brand, okay? Simply Almonds, because the only ingredient is almonds and sea salt, okay? You would be amazed, those of y'all that are buying your almond milk still has sugar in it and still has all these other ingredients in it, and it's almond milk, okay? So I always look for this brand because this brand is clean. There's no extra ingredients in there, so you're getting exactly what you think you're supposed to be getting, okay? And this is unsweetened, by the way. This is not vanilla, okay? So this is unsweetened. So, y'all, that's it. Oh, and some eggs. I couldn't remember if I told you eggs or not, okay? So I'm going to make it with you really quick. So this is a video that you can actually come back to. It'll be on my YouTube channel and obviously in my cooking page on Facebook as well, okay? So you'll be able to keep it. Y'all, I'm telling you, once you make this, it's going to be a habit because it is so good, okay? She has a couple other recipes on there too, like there's a Southwestern ranch, I think. There's some mayonnaises on there. Those of y'all that can't have certain things. I know a lot of people ask me, hey, I'm allergic to mayonnaise, or I can't have mayonnaise, what can I have? So you can make your own, obviously. And I just posted, maybe last week, of egg substitutes. If you're not able to have eggs, some substitutions for eggs as well, okay? So don't freak out about the raw eggs in here, okay? Do not freak out. That lemon juice and this apple cider vinegar is going to kill any bacteria that y'all think is going to be growing because you got raw eggs in here. I promise you it's safe, I promise, okay? So first and foremost, let's talk about the immersion blender, okay? So this is Pampered Chef's immersion blender. So this is actually kind of a 3-piece deal. This is actually your wand that works everything, okay? And this is an attachment that's actually going to hook on here. So first and foremost, it comes with a food processor and it comes with 3 blades. There's a normal food chopping blade, there's a slicer, and there's a grater, okay? And those are pretty cool because the disc, they're like disc that fits at the top of the food processor. And one side is thin and one side is thick. So it depends on, do you want thick cut cheese or thin, or if you're doing cabbage or any of that stuff, you have that option too, okay? And this also is a hand mixer, so it actually comes with a whole separate end too, that you can hook into your hand mixer, and you're gonna have regular beaters, like your cake mixes, brownie mixes, but then you're also gonna have your whipping ones, like if you're doing homemade whipping cream, okay? And just a hint and a reminder about homemade whipping cream, make sure your ingredients are super cold. Make sure you keep them super cold until you're ready to, you know, put them in a blender or whatever you're doing to do that whipping cream, okay? And the beaters are going to obviously help you do that, okay? As well to be able to beat that faster. Nothing like homemade whipping cream versus what comes in that container, okay? So I'm using the Immersion blender. So I always ask at my live shows, if a recipe called for Immersion blender and you didn't have an Immersion blender, would you even make the recipe, or would you even go to as far as, oh, let me just get my regular blender out, okay? There is a difference. This keeps everything creamy, okay? More consistent, where if you put it in a blender, it's gonna puree it, okay? So that's kind of your difference. So you'll see a lot of Immersion blenders with homemade soups, mayonnaises, sauces, any of that good stuff. So there is a difference if you've always wondered Immersion blender versus a regular blender. There's a difference, okay? If I were to put all this in my blender, it would be super, super runny, okay? Super, like runny all the time, okay? And that's obviously not what we need. We want it a little bit thick. It's ranch, okay? Everybody wants some good ranch dressing, okay? So again, if you've not tried this, y'all, amazing, okay? So I'm gonna get this in here, and y'all can see our numbers are lit up. Here's your battery. These is battery operated, y'all. I do not have to get a plug-in, which is so nice, okay? I think people don't realize there's no plug-in for this. I don't have to be a specific place to be able to put all that in a plug-in, okay? So I absolutely love that for that reason, okay? It does come with 2 batteries. You got fully charged for 1 hour, 30 minutes on each. It takes 2 hours to charge. So super easy, okay? So this is the cup for your Immersion blender. You always want to make sure if you're using an Immersion blender that you're in a deep cup, and you also want to make sure that this piece actually fits down inside the cup, okay? Because I'm gonna give you an example. Like I got my mason jar out earlier, and I was like, oh, this will fit perfect. And but you see here, there's something right there, so I can't get past that. So I'm gonna store it in that container when I get done in the refrigerator, okay? So I'm gonna start with the oil. So the instructions say put everything in other than the almond milk and your herbs. Your herbs need to go last, okay? So this is our 1.5 cups of avocado. Remember, they said either a light olive oil tasting or avocado oil, so you can do either one, okay? Now I'm gonna do some measurements. So this is our oil. We are gonna do dry mustard, and our dry mustard is 1 teaspoon, okay? Y'all know I talk about these, love these, my little friends, okay? So this is a teaspoon. Love this because it gets right down in those jars. It don't matter what kind of jar it is, what brand, doesn't matter. All goes in there, okay? And then I got my paprika, and that is 1/4 teaspoon, so not as much. Okay, so same, we're gonna put that in there. All right, so I'm gonna weigh these out of the way so I know what I've done. All right, I need 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder and onion powder, okay? So we'll do half of this because this is a whole teaspoon, so we'll just do half. So that was onion, and then we have garlic. Y'all, it already smells amazing. Okay, y'all know garlic and onion powder already smells amazing. Okay, we got half of both. Okay. All right, 1 teaspoon of salt. There's my salt. We'll come back to dill, parsley, 1 tablespoon of either white vinegar or apple cider. I have apple cider right here from Costco. By the way, it's a pretty good price. You can get 3 of these. I think it's a 3-pack that you get. So this right here, y'all, is what's killing those. Any things bacteria-wise, if you think you're eating raw eggs, I promise you you're not. I promise you're not, okay? We'll do our 2 eggs. I'll do this right here first, so I don't break any shells in there. Because y'all know my luck, I'll be breaking some shells. Okay, so there's 1 egg. And there's 2 eggs. Yay, for no mess. All right, 2 eggs, mustard, garlic. I gotta do some fresh garlic. I got my little garlic keeper. We're gonna do 2 fresh garlic cloves. Pretty sure y'all seen me use this enough that you know what fresh garlic is. This is your entire bowl, and these are your cloves on the inside, okay? If you don't have this amazing garlic press, add it to your list. Do not peel the garlic. Just put that in there, you press, you have your fresh garlic, okay? And then when you get done, voila, look, pulls it right out for you. No mess, okay? Very, very easy to use. Got some garlic right here that came out. All right, so we got that. Garlic, lots of ground pepper, okay? So first and foremost, I'm not just gonna measure this, but I'm gonna do about 1.5 teaspoons, okay? So we got that in there. Then I need to cut this lime. And I already know y'all pretty much a half of a lemon or lime or any of that good stuff, if it's normal size, is a tablespoon, okay? So we're just gonna put this entire lime in here, okay? How y'all like that? Look at all that juice that came out of there. And look, voila, turns it inside out and keeps all your seeds in there. Okay, quick and easy, okay? So we got our whole thing in there. All right, lemon juice, vinegar, parsley, dill, all that stuff. Okay, so we got everything in there other than the herbs itself. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn on my good old immersion blender and I'm gonna go take it. And you do want to pull it up and down, okay? So you get all that stuff mixed up. Y'all can kind of see it stick, okay? Leave that in there. Okay, we're gonna add their parsley, and it calls for 1/3 cup of fresh parsley. So I'm gonna do a couple of teaspoons, I should say. I'm gonna put that in there. Okay, maybe 2.5. Who doesn't love fresh herbs? Okay, now we are putting some fresh dill in there. Okay, good thing is, y'all, you don't have to chop it up. Okay. I will tell you this is 2 or 3 tablespoons. Your girl over here is not measuring, okay? I love fresh dill, And if you don't have dill, y'all, if you do not have the Pamper Chef dill mix, it is like amazing, okay? So again, don't freak out if you don't have fresh herbs. You can also do, you can also do dry, so don't freak out about that. And of course, your green veggies right here, we're gonna make that nice little green up, okay? Y'all, it smells so good. Okay, so that's done. And again, you got your homemade dressing. Now, the only thing that we're gonna do now is we're gonna add 1/4 cup to 3/4 cups of almond milk. And that really is going to boil down to how runny you personally want it, okay? I will tell y'all that if you do leave this out, like if you pull it out of the refrigerator, it's going to be thick. But if you leave it out even for just 2 minutes, it gets runny really fast, okay? So don't overdo it on your almond milk, okay? I typically only do the least amount. I only do 1/4 cup, okay? And again, you can kind of do whatever you want to. Totally your choice, because you can actually go all the way up to 3/4 cup, okay? That's obviously going to give you more dressing, but just remember too that when it does come out of the refrigerator, it's going to be runny, okay? So don't get me wrong, I like runny, but not super runny. Okay? So again, then you're just going to mix this up. Now the cool thing about this immersion blender, this actually comes with a lid, so you just put the lid on the refrigerator, okay? Now I use this a lot for shows, okay? So I'm actually gonna take it out of this container and I'm actually going to add it to that mason jar that I couldn't get into a while ago, okay? So we're just seriously going to take the mason jar, okay? And I have a little tight lid that goes on here. And look at that good old ranch dressing. So pretty. Oh, I might have a little bit left over. So y'all can see, it's super good. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me tonight. I would love to know if you make this. Let me know what you think, because it truly is amazing. And it's very, very simple, and you're not getting all those extra ingredients. Okay, thanks again, and have a great night.